Buckle up for another episode of Ghost Facers, a supernatural rewatch podcast. My name is Richard, and sitting shotgun as always is my brother in podcasting, Reed.
Hey, before we get started, you just want a baby? Found a baby? Do you want this baby I found? It's just a baby.
Sure.
You could baby it, have the baby if you want. I found it. A baby.
What do you mean by you found it?
Oh, it's just as you do. You got a baby.
No, you
Here
don't.
go.
What do you mean you found a baby?
Someone's gonna have to raise this baby. It can't be me.
Where did the baby come from?
You just get. Sometimes you just listen, I don't plan everything in life. Sometimes life just happens to you. You got to go with the flow. It's about the energy you can just match in the moment.
Babies are not on
do you want
trees.
this fucking baby or not?
Yeah,
Ghost Facers! We visit ghosts, when others will not, we're ghosts! Ghost Facers! Stay in the kitchen when the kitchen gets hot! Ghost Facers! We visit nightmare, we visit dread! Ghost Facers! We visit faceless, we visit dead!
Welcome to Ghost Facers. Today we're discussing Season 6, Episode number 2. 2.5 Men.
Men, manly men.
Manly men. Ooh.
I don't know that I've ever watched an episode of 2.5 Men start to finish.
No,
I've seen lots of clips.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've ever seen an entire
No.
episode.
I think what's really weird is the Kutcher years.
I think it's crazy that show has 11 seasons.
It boggles my mind that show can exist. I get the wanting to watch a train wreck of Charlie Sheen, but it's not even that.
Just insane.
Boggles my mind.
It also has maybe it's the kind of the most jarring watching a kid grow up on TV since the youngest son on Home Improvement.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Mark.
Yeah. Didn't he go goth
Yeah,
on the
he
show?
did. Yeah. I can't remember what he does now, but it's weird.
Drugs.
Yeah, I mean, probably.
Maybe.
Of the three of them. Because I think JTT got into politics.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, he works.
Oh, is he a city councilman or something somewhere?
He worked on Obama's campaign and stuff.
What?
Yeah.
Was he singing I Just Can't Wait to Be King the whole time?
Yeah. Before we get into this episode, we've got a review.
Hey, love that.
That came to us
In a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually Facebook, but from Jessica Nicole, who says, just left a 5-star review on Spotify, but couldn't figure out how to leave a comment. Yeah, I mean, we don't know how to read them, so-
Great question. No idea.
I just looked today, and we have 98 5-star reviews on there.
On Spotify?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. No idea what that means.
Oh,
or
hell
anything. Yeah. So here's my comment. I love this podcast. Super funny. And I love how the guys notice stuff. So when I rewatch the show for the 18th time, it feels new again. I do have one complaint. This is
Bring back the sandwich segment.
Nope, surprisingly, no one's ever written that. In fact, someone's very specifically said we should get rid of it.
Well, I mean, I'm obviously not going to count that opinion.
And then you guys fucking took him down.
Yeah, sick him.
We'll read some of those as future reviews because I think it counts. I do have one complaint. This is my first podcast experience.
Oh, God. I mean, I'm already sorry.
And I find myself wanting them all to be this good.
Oh, I see what you did there.
You trickster.
I mean, I am still sorry.
Yeah.
But,
Been searching high and low for the Walking Dead rewatch podcast, and none of them hit the mark set by this one. I mean, yeah, if you're using this as a barometer for rewatch podcasts,
I mean, do
maybe
we just
not
have to
better.
rewatch everything?
Yeah. They may not be as. We may not be better, but we're definitely different.
I put this challenge to you, listeners. If we can make a living, we will rewatch and record whatever you want.
I mean, yeah.
If we could make a living,
Yeah.
we'll do it.
100%.
So
You make that happen.
yeah, if you do all the work and make that happen for us, we'll watch.
show up.
We will watch and discuss
Yes.
anything you want
Anything at all.
forever.
So, in short, please do one for The Walking Dead too.
Well, now yeah, you've been charged this mighty task.
Sincerely, a huge Ghostfacers pod fan.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Jessica.
That was really sweet.
Yeah, undeservingly.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been nice if you, I don't know, threw a little shout out to the sandwich segment or something.
I mean, I appreciate that it's never good enough.
I mean, you know what? I shouldn't say that. I got closure on the sandwich segment with that amazing
that drop. I mean,
that amazing like montage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Richard Spade Jr. told us that the podcast is good.
Yeah. Yeah.
On both podcasts.
That sucker. he told the competition they were great.
That's right.
He sounds like an idiot, right?
First mistake. What an idiot. This episode aired September 24th, 2010.
Hell yeah.
Written by Adam Glass and directed by John F. Showalter. Viewed by an estimated.
Oh, 1.
So last week was at 2.8.
2.9 or something.
Yeah. This week is 2.33 million viewers.
Wow, people really didn't respond to that season premiere. Because I like truly, not just being contrarian, I think that's one of the best season premieres.
Really?
It's so strong. It's got great character stuff. It like kind of leaves in like a little bit of a weird place. You want to see what's going to happen.
Well, let's see if
crazy
the promo had anything to do with
All
this
right.
one. So my usual place for promos wasn't available for this episode.
YouTube.
Well, the specific channel that I did it first. So
I see.
I had to go to a different place. So there's a bunch of like pre-promo stuff. In
Ugh.
Yeah,
All right. I mean, the stupid like echo like lullaby thing is so bad. But here's the thing. I'm going to give a little shout out to this promo for editing it in such a way that it looks like the baby is throwing Dean across the room. That's fucking great.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that.
That is very funny.
Yeah.
Still way too self-serious. But
Yeah, it's like a 4 out of 10.
yeah, absolutely. All right. International titles.
Yeah, the promos are out of 10. The episodes are out of 5. That tracks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the international titles are out of 23.
Okay, I'm going to hold you to that.
Yeah.
Okay, international titles this week. So the title of this episode obviously is a reference to the CBS sitcom of the same name, which follows a rich uncle who takes his brother and nephew and the mishaps that follow.
Oh my god, the mishaps like the character driving off a cliff and like exploding and burning to death.
Is that what happened?
That's how they kill off Charlie Sheen.
Really?
Yeah, because they were like, there's no ambiguity. He's gone.
Jesus. All right, so German title.
Okay.
What do you think it might be? It's pretty literal. Though.
Like 2 men and a baby.
Close, but more literal.
Oh, 2 brothers and a baby.
Less.
2 brothers save a baby.
No, it's 2 hunters and a baby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'd give that a 14.5 out of 23.
Oh,
it's out of 23 and I'm still giving 0.5.
Yeah, well,
so.
of course, because why not make it more complicated?
I'm meticulous.
Yeah, of course, if nothing else.
Yeah.
All right, the French title.
Oh, this has got to be the irony of life.
That's the one.
Yeah.
The irony of life.
Yeah, is that it?
Nope, that's not it.
Okay, what's the French title?
The French title is Baby Blues.
Baby Blues?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a solid 19 out of 23.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's good.
All right, and of course, finally, we have the Hungarian title.
Okay, the Hungarian title is holy shit, the baby's black now.
And that's the worst thing in Hungary.
I mean, in Hungary,
Ooh.
a lot of far-right extremism.
Really?
In politics. Oh, they keep electing, like, basically Nazis.
Yikes.
Yeah.
No, it's transformation.
Oh. It's like a 3. Yeah.
Just 3?
It's actually a 3 out of 23.
Yeah.
But I actually think it's so bad that now the scale is up to 29.
I'm sorry.
This one's a 3 out of 29.
It's
The other
so
ones,
bad that the scale
their
needed to
scores
change.
were made out of 23. This one is a 3 out of 29.
Here's a crazy idea. Why don't you just drop the score from a 3 to a 1?
I'm afraid that can't be done. I don't want to get into the minutia of it, but trust me, this is easier.
It's easier to bring the scale
It's
up
easier
higher.
to change the denominator than the numerator.
All right, man.
It's all a little bit technical, but I'm going to need you to trust me.
You always say that.
Yeah. We're brothers. Trust me.
Oh, my God. Well, those were the international titles. Featured music for this episode. Smoke on the Water. By
Yeah.
Deep Purple.
A couple of times.
TV Guide describes this episode as Sam investigates when babies are kidnapped and their parents are murdered. Wow, this is bad grammar.
That makes it sound like anytime, anywhere that a baby is kidnapped and the parents are murdered, Sam is summoned.
That's the way it's
That makes it sound
written.
like that's the hook for a different show.
That's when it's
like
that's
Baby
when-
Finder.
Yep. When he finds a baby who is left behind, he contacts
That's half
Dean.
of his job.
He contacts Dean to help with the case. Soon, the brothers encounter a shapeshifter who wants to take the child. The rest of that is written fine.
But also, again, the whole fucking reveal.
Yep, of course.
I mean, I guess it's not that much of a reveal. If you watch the then, you go like, oh, I know what it is. But
Yes. But before we talk about this episode, why don't we open up Dad's journal and learn about some of the real world lore?
Yeah, let's see what the lore says about the first monsters.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, which is obviously more lore-wise a thing in the show than it is in real life. But I thought we'd go to like some of the origins of monsters or proposed origins of certain monsters.
Sure, okay.
So the word monster itself comes from a Latin verb, moneo, which means like to remind or to instruct, to warn. So that's kind of a good indicator of like culturally the role that monsters play in folklore and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're warnings, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, there's so many ancient traditions of monsters. Like the Sphinx is a monster. There's a ton in Gilgamesh. Medusa, Cerberus, all sorts of the Hydra. I mean, if you want to count dragons as a form of monster, then like ancient Chinese myth has a lot of that stuff. So, in kind of proto-Indo-European cultures, there was a kind of vaguer understanding of the spiritual, the divine, and like the monstrous. They were all kind of interchangeable.
Okay.
It's over time that we've kind of made these sort of artificial divisions about like what is a monster versus what is a spirit versus what is like angelic or whatever. It was a little more amorphous back then. So I just wanted to kind of like quick run down a couple of like big real life origins of certain monsters. So we talked about it in the jinn episode, but according to the Quran, jinn and humans are like parallel like species.
Yeah.
For my Lord of the Rings heads out there, it's like how elves and men are both the children of Iluvatar.
Yeah, for all of you out there.
For all of you, the one you,
yeah.
One fan to bring all these references in the darkness behind them.
Cool.
Nice. So in that case, like jinn are like divinely created.
Mm-hmm.
They, them and humans are like made by Allah, I guess.
Yeah.
Mythologically, the first vampire is said to have been like a foreign traveler who angered Apollo so much that he was cursed to burn in sunlight.
Jeez.
But there's also a kind of more real world thing. There's this guy named Jure Grando Alilovich, who is the first person described as a vampire in historical records. He lived from like the late 1500s into the 1600s. In historical records, he's actually referred to as a strigoi.
Whoa.
So essentially a striga, which sort of straddles the line between what we now understand as like a witch and a vampire.
Sure. Yeah.
But he's kind of like, it's kind of the first case where like someone wrote in a document,
Yeah.
this guy's a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what year was that?
That's in the Well, when it would have been around when he died, I guess. So 1650s.
Wow.
The first werewolves in literature are either in the Epic of Gilgamesh or in the Greek legend of Lycaon. Lycaon was a king. This is where we get the word lycanthrope and all that kind of stuff. Lycaon was a king. I'm going to do a real bastardized version of this myth. Essentially, for some reason, Zeus is coming to dinner. And Zeus makes fun.
Who's coming to dinner?
Makes fun of King Lycaon for being mortal. He's like, you piece of shit, you're gonna die one day.
Sure.
And King Lycaon is like, you know what? Cook him a human steak, and makes his cook prepare a human steak for Zeus, which is like an affront.
Oh, okay.
Zeus eats it, and he's like, you piece of shit. This is human. I'm gonna curse you to be lowly like an animal. You're gonna wander as a wolf. And so that's kind of the origin of the myth of a werewolf.
Wow.
Is Lycaon. And obviously we get the words from that too.
So specific on all sides.
I mean, that's what I love about mythology though sometimes.
It's like, you made me eat a person?
Yeah, with salt.
Yeah.
I'd give it 5 out of 29.
Oh my God. That's pretty low?
Well, considering that it used to be 5 out of 34, you're doing better.
Just bring it down to 1.
No, everyone gets 5. It's the only way.
It's like a bingo situation. You get the center card first.
Let's imagine everyone gets 5.
Yeah.
But what?
Yeah. 5
of what proportion?
Of course. I mean, that's what this whole podcast is about.
Yeah, proportions.
Yeah.
There's a monster. There's monsters in the Epic of Gilgamesh. There's all sorts of crazy things. There's also this interesting theory that I stumbled across in a book called The Origins of Monsters that argues that monster lore kind of coincides with the rise of like urban civilizations, like living in cities and communities, and that it's a shift in terms of art and storytelling from describing what you did to like applying like a narrative lens to the way things used to be.
Oh.
The argument that is that in like prehistoric art, you might draw something exaggerated because you're not great at drawing yet.
Sure.
But you're drawing things.
Yeah.
And that once you get into cities, you're kind of like interpreting that like, and there were these beasts and we would chase them, or like they would chase us, or like that there's like a layer of removal that allows for the development of monsters, basically.
Okay.
Which is, I mean, that is what I got from the abstract. I did not pay to read this journal, but but yeah, so there you go. Just a little taste of the first monsters.
Yeah, not too much mentioned about alpha-ing, but
no, I decided not to do the lore on alphas. Yeah, if you can imagine.
The original monsters just shit to
I mean, first of all, I just have no window in. So
just these original monsters were fucking dunking on these noobs.
Yeah.
Some real fucking alphas.
Yeah. Listen, but we have to talk about epsilons then. I'm your guy. Yeah. It's a real Brave New World situation.
Yeah, give me some beta talk and then we'll be there.
Yeah, easy. Whoa. You're way up on the food chain there. Beta, jeez.
All right.
Did you? Never mind.
No.
It's a dumb thing to say.
No. You said it on mic. It has to get brought up now.
Just because I said epsilon and you said beta and alpha, and I was just going to ask, like, do you know the Greek alphabet? Because it's a thing like my dad taught me for that, like, rarely comes in handy other than I just know them.
No, I don't know. I've never had a reason to know.
Well, yeah, me neither. And I didn't bring it up. Don't worry about
it. Ladies.
It's not a great party trick to just recite the alphabet in a different language.
Yeah, you guys ready to fucking tzatziki in your pants? Because I'm going to tell you
the Greek alphabet. I'm going to be your hero. Alpha, beta, gamma, delta, epsilon, zeta, eta, theta, iota, kappa, lambda, mu, nu, xi, omicron, pi, rho, sigma, tau, epsilon, phi, chi, psi, omega.
Cool.
Yeah. Drop them panties.
You got a Scott Bakula over here.
Oh, yeah. You pitched that to me, and I got a Homer Zilliard.
Anything?
Other Greek
Yeah,
things.
olives.
Yeah, feta.
Oil.
Yeah, oil, generally.
Anyways, let's get into the episode.
What's the episode about? Let's see what the Lord says about the Greeks.
Yeah, of course. Let's
Those
see
lazy, shiftless bastards.
what it says about Randy Sal.
Different podcast.
Is it a different one? I thought it was this.
It's the double from...
Oh, wow. Anyway.
We just record too many things.
Yeah. All right, we start with...
But we'll record more if you could get us enough money.
Yeah, we'll live off this. It doesn't take much.
I will suckle at the teat of your
Jesus.
desperate need for pop culture commentary.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh, I don't like this. Oh my God. No, keep going.
No, I'm okay.
I'm not.
The search term for this episode is Ruined Podcast.
We start with a then. Dean is seeing Sam again after he's been away for a year. Not really.
we're doing the like you got out, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. We're reliving all that shit from last
living
week.
with Lisa and Ben.
Hell yeah,
Dean getting out of hunting.
yeah,
The Campbell family.
yeah.
Bunch of fucking red shirts.
assholes.
Samuel. We'll get
What a
there.
what a piece of work.
Yeah. Oh my God, easy language.
I know. I'm sorry. I don't mean to get that riled up.
And of course,
He's like a 1 out of 37.
wait, hold on.
Yeah, you heard me.
Is that the original? Do you start with any? You start with 1?
He's got 1
Oh, okay.
of 37.
Yeah.
But you should watch out because that denominator could drop as low as 44.
Really need to map out this system here.
That's for whoever controls the wiki.
Yeah. Do we have one of those yet?
No, but that would be hilarious.
Yeah. Shapeshifter episodes are also brought up at the end.
Why?
I can't imagine.
I didn't read the TV guide intro.
All right. Getting into the now.
All right.
The episode starts with a woman running away from a home invader.
Everything hits me different
Oh yeah, home invader stuff is a big for you.
as a parent, but I would say I've always been afraid of heights. Like I have some of those kind of fears.
Yeah.
But no fear has grown more for me than the fear of home invasion.
Has it gotten it less since you like moved to a place that's not like on one level?
No. I'm meticulous about checking locks on
okay.
windows and doors. I know how many steps it would take me to get to other things like knives or sticks or like I'm always we've talked about this. I'm always thinking of how to like Jackie Chan my way out of situations.
That's true. Yes.
Yeah.
So
this, and especially because it was like with a baby and like it's like
was this something like
I was
personal?
watching this at work and I was alone in the office and I was like, no, I don't like that. I went and checked the door downstairs.
Really?
I was like, no.
The moments when you decide to have fear blow my mind.
I'm a regular person about it.
Yeah, a man who like has tried to walk through a crime scene.
Yeah, and allegedly I tried to start a fight on a train one time.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
France.
Yes, but is like afraid of like unknown home invasion.
Yeah, because it's unknown.
Yeah, if you could see, because
If I could see a crime in progress, I could gauge whether or not it's fine.
a giant man who knows karate is
Yeah.
afraid of.
Fear keeps you alive. That's also how I play video games.
But then you also-
and I'm right.
But you don't have it in real, like with things that you can see.
Why would I be afraid of a thing that can't hurt me though?
But it could.
Because I can see it. I've already assessed it.
Yeah, but they could have guns you didn't know.
What's a gun gonna do? Kill me? Thank you.
Then what are you afraid of the home invasion?
You're right. What if they take my stuff?
Oh, fair, yeah.
Or
I didn't-
hurt the people that I love? That's not
You
good.
were alone.
I don't
at
give a
the
shit what
office.
happens to me.
You were alone at the office.
Stop poking holes in this.
I'm just trying to create a baseline here, and I'm having a hard time.
You get a 2 out of 27.
Oh no! How many did I start with?
Well, you started at 2 out of 3, which
Oh.
ain't bad.
Hey, fuck you. That's good.
Oh, that's a Meatloaf joke,
God
baby.
damn it.
Hell yeah.
So, this
Could you
woman-
imagine if I set that entire bit up just to lead to that?
I mean, that's a lot
I
of
didn't,
foresight.
but could you imagine?
No, we've never put this much thought into any
That
joke.
would be fucking great.
I do love that, though. That's a psychotic thing I do.
Yeah, it is, actually.
So, this woman's running around from a home invader.
She's got so much blood on her hands. She keeps wiping it on the baby.
Yeah.
I mean, not wiping it.
Yeah. Ugh. Shut up, take
she
his blood.
runs into this room and she's doing the like shh.
Hiding under a bed.
With a baby. You can't control a baby.
I mean, you could shut its mouth.
Jesus.
You know,
Good Lord.
You know what
Why did you mind that?
You could shut its mouth.
I don't know that I want you to babysit for us anymore.
It's fine. Only 4 days. Anything could happen.
I don't like this. Jeez Louise.
Only to be pulled out from under the bed and presumably murdered.
Yeah.
We don't actually see the murder.
I mean, we hear it.
Sort of.
There's like squishes of stabbing and ripping and stuff.
Yeah, but that could be anything.
It's pretty rough because you just see the little baby face. There's a lot of baby shots. Like they had babies on set.
Yeah.
And those are like short shooting days because you can only work with a baby for like an hour, I think.
Oh wow.
That's why they often get twins. You could get more
The
shooting
perfect
time.
episode for that then.
But there's so many. Like there's at least, well, I guess just 2. There's at least 2 babies, which means that if they got twins, there's at least 4 babies on set.
That's a lot of babies.
Yeah. And maybe they had like backups in case something happened. Let's say they had 7 babies. And of a possible 1 baby in the episode,
What do you rate that?
I would give this baby's performance.
Yeah.
I'd give this baby's performance like a 4
Out of
Oh, Jesus. God, we got to think of that.
he's bringing on an abacus. For some
Yeah,
reason.
yeah. I'd say carry the 2. 9. 4 out of 9. It's fine.
Does the baby's race matter? Does that affect it?
The black baby's better.
Oh yeah, well,
Way better actor.
yeah, cool ass baby.
Yeah.
And that's the beginning of the episode.
I'm in a weird mood, man.
I
What
know.
a weird bit to have latched onto.
It's not the first time. All right. The first baby bit. I just mean
Yeah.
the first weird bit you've latched onto.
Hey, babies can latch. Let's see what the lore says
Oh my
about
god.
about breastfeeding.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways,
Easy. Come back to us.
I know.
You fucking perv. It's a natural thing to do.
No, it's
You
because
fucking weirdo.
I saw
I'm going to do the Greek alphabet again.
I saw a TikTok today that was like a woman was like it was standing and it's one of those things like tell me you're a blank without telling me you're a blank.
Right.
But this was like tell me you've got undulous mommy milkers without telling me you do. And then you just see her chest go down and then you see milk squirt up.
Jesus.
It's like,
Good
oh
Lord.
my God.
Have you seen the one where it may or may not be a woman breastfeeding a cat on a plane?
Yes, I'm pretty sure it's fake.
And I'm pretty sure it's a sketch.
Yeah.
But I still think
It's
funny.
very funny.
Yeah.
I do really like it.
Yeah.
So we're now cutting to Lisa and Ben and Dean. And Lisa suggests that Ben take time to look around this new neighborhood that they live in.
Yeah, because we start like Dean. We see Dean putting guns
This is
back in
also-
the car and stuff, but they've moved. He's like dealing with boxes.
This
and then
is the
Ben's...
4th house that they've lived in since they've been on the show.
Okay, hang on. There's the first one
Yeah.
where the birthday party is happening, and all of Lisa's friends are like, "Oh, I bet that hug is amazing."
Yes. Then
Then there's the house she's in,
at the end of season 5.
right? And we pick up there.
No, we don't.
But isn't that
It's a different house.
what?
Yeah. Because when he arrives, there's like no houses around that house.
You're right. But wait, though, is the one at the end of season 5 not the same one as the first one?
I don't think so.
Well, shit.
This is what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess they do move a lot. Yeah, this is the 4th house since season 2 or 3.
No.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus Christ.
That is a lot. I wonder if part of that is like a function of, I mean, it's not in, right now it's a story function. But I wonder if the other ones are just like, we can't shoot there.
Yeah,
you know, like
yeah. Who knows how they get access to like exteriors and stuff? Like, I don't know if they just go, this is the vibe we're looking for.
Yeah.
And then they just shoot exteriors and then they shoot interiors like in a studio or something. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
But yeah, the chances of getting the same house over and over again, unless it's a house that's on shows all the time, but they work with so many houses all the time. I assume that they're just getting rights to exteriors.
Although that house that we see at the end of season 5, we don't really see the inside of it particularly, do we?
No.
So then maybe it's just, we mostly just shoot it outside and then like right in the doorway, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Oh, see, that's interesting. I don't think I'd clocked that.
It's a lot.
But yes, they have, for this one, they have moved because the old location is compromised.
And because of Dean, they basically moved multiple times.
You know, and Ben's not thrilled about it, and Dean's feeling guilty, but he's also like kind of paranoid. Like,
oh yeah,
they're like, we'll go out for lunch later, and then he like, well, in a little bit we see he like orders a pizza and he's like, oops, I forgot we were going out, sorry, guess we have to stay in, I'll lock the door.
Yeah,
you know, like he's being a little cagey about it.
And in between that, we're cutting it into Sam and Samuel investigating the murder from the beginning of the episode,
right?
But yeah, Dean basically is
sorry, hang on, one more thing.
Yeah,
I know you could throw a decent amount of people off your trail by moving, but Dean essentially doesn't exist.
Yes.
Which means that a big purchase like a house is going through Lisa. Mm-hmm. It's also like, those are documents you could just, like, there's a trail. If someone wanted to find him, they'd find him.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's not like issuing, like, we don't see in this scene that he's like, and now your name is Veronica and you went to LSU. Like,
sure,
it's not
yeah.
like, they're not getting new identities. You're just throwing kind of like low-level monsters off the scent. If someone was after them in the way that Dean perceives, they'd find them.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not very, like, well thought of. They're also going to be like, yeah, some sweaty guy told me where you guys were.
No, he's dead.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
How dare you?
No, it's his sweaty relatives.
It's funeral. They're all.
So
he slides out of the coffin flop.
But we get more of Sam and Samuel hunting, finding out that there's been multiple homes invaded, all of which had babies stolen.
Okay, here's the thing I like.
Yeah.
Number one, Sam is like, this might just be a serial killer. And we are so accustomed on this show to being like, not a monster. And then Samuel's like, yeah, either way, someone's taking babies. And you're like, oh, fuck, do I agree with Samuel?
I know.
You're like, he's right.
Yeah.
I also like that Samuel like is bad at computers.
Yes.
It's a good little detail that like he died in the 70s.
Yeah, why would
and
he
he just
know how
came
to
back
use
to
a
life. The
computer?
idea that like even after a year, he's like, just fucking internet.
Yeah,
like,
and they don't like play it like
it's not like central to the plot or something.
No. It's one little offhand
It's a
joke.
nice little detail.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy that a lot, and I don't know if that's the writers being really good at it, or if it's Mitch Pileggi like bringing something to set, or you know what I mean,
being mad at computers,
or Mitch Pileggi being mad at computers.
Which all seems plausible.
Yeah, but either way, I enjoy those little details. I was like, this early part of the episode, I was weirdly like, oh fuck, am I just remembering wrong about Samuel? Do I like Samuel?
No, don't worry.
And then like later in the episode, I was like, oh, okay, no, never mind. It's fine.
So later, we see Ben going through the Impala's trunk.
Yeah, he's holding the shotgun.
Yeah, Dean's just like, what? I mean, they play it off like Dean freaks out, like unfairly.
Dean freaks out a regular amount.
Yes.
I actually think he's holding it together
I think so,
really
too.
well,
100%.
especially because later in this episode, there's a whole conversation of whether or not Dean is becoming like John by being so like
I know.
protective of them. It's like, he absolutely fucking is not.
He's compared to the
Ben,
situation.
because we already saw Dean close that car, and then he locks it with the keys, and then the keys go in a different thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Like Ben is going out of his way.
Yes.
It's not an accident. Dean wasn't careless. Ben goes into a toolbox, gets the keys, takes off the tarp, unlocks the trunk, opens that, lifts up the secret compartment, and then holds a gun. That's deliberate. And all Dean says is, what the hell? Takes the gun and says, you'll never shoot a gun, which is amazing because it would be so easy for Dean to be like, yeah, it's important. But like,
no,
I fucking love, like, so hard for Dean, like Dad Dean. Amazing. Yeah, and then he's just like, he's very calm. He like gets himself calmed down, and he's like, no. And Ben is like, all right, and leaves.
No, because then he's like,
shut up about the gun.
Yeah, because he keeps pushing and pushing.
Yeah, and then Ben's like mopes away, and Dean feels bad right away. But Dean is right.
Yes, 100% Dean is right. Absolutely.
I mean, it's not like Lisa freaks out at him. Like, Lisa also is like, hey, what's up? You know, but you're right. They do play it like Dean really lost his cool. But it's like, if John handled any situation that well, the boys would be so different.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, Lisa says like what Ben locked himself in the room. Like, what did he do?
Yeah.
And he's like, nothing. And then she's like, well, what did you do?
Yeah.
And he was just like,
and she's like, I want to start a fight. I just want to. I mean, the infinite patience of Lisa.
I mean, better than he ever deserve.
I do appreciate that this show is like, let's take an insanely hot character and make her hottest quality everything about her personality.
I mean, at the end of this episode, we'll get there, but Jesus Christ.
I mean, just like, so I was like wet with understanding.
Sopping with just empathy.
Yeah. I had like pre-cum of emotional availability.
How could we be so emotionally open and yet so disgusting? Really playing both sides of the fence here.
I mean, that's my way.
But he basically said, Dean says that he feels like he overreacted, but he just wanted Ben and her to stay safe.
Yeah.
Lisa argues that they still have to go on with their lives and can't stay locked in a house forever.
And she's totally right. Although I will say, when that line came up and I was watching it, I was like, man, a lot of people were saying that during COVID. That's like the first place my mind went. I don't know if you thought that too, but I was like, I agree with Lisa here, but this argument is not like, I don't always agree. Like, it's contextual.
We then cut back to Sam heading into a suspected hit location and finds the couple already murdered. The invader then suddenly attacks Sam.
Well, it's because right when he gets off the phone with Samuel last time, Sam is like, fine, I'll keep investigating, even though I think it's just a baby napper.
It's just humans killing humans.
Sam notices that the home had a security system which had been turned off, and he's like, he gets Samuel to like look into that. Yeah. So I think this house he's at is like another house in the area with that security system or something like that.
So he then gets attacked by the invader who's still in the house.
Yeah. And he cuts him with a silver knife and it burns a bit.
Then he beats it.
Easy.
He beats off.
Yeah.
And he puts on his jacket and beats off.
Yeah, he beats off with compatibility.
All right.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I'd give that like a 4.
Okay, out of what?
Like 6. It's still pretty good.
But searching through the home, Sam finds something, and it's very shocking.
Yeah.
That's when Dean receives a call from Sam and threatens if they don't meet immediately, he will drive up to Dean's doorstep.
Yeah, and I know your new house already too.
Yeah. Everyone does.
Yeah,
it was really easy.
I just called the bank, and they'll tell you anything.
Yeah, it's crazy. So Dean meets him on some like abandoned road, and finds a baby in the backseat.
I like the setup for the episode, and I think that's lots of fun.
Sure.
I don't know that I know why he needs Dean for it, because later in the episode, Sam is surprised that Dean is good with the baby.
Yeah.
Other than Sam is just looking for any excuse to call Dean in.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can kind of write it off as, but like there's no reason that Sam presents us why it's logical to be like to call Dean instead of just one of the cousins or Samuel, or especially given other information in this episode.
Yeah.
It's a little contrived. I still like the setup or whatever, but it doesn't make a ton of sense.
I'll agree with that.
Just like a decision made later also doesn't make a ton of sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed. Sam calls Dean Gutenberg, which is a reference to Steve Gutenberg from 3 Men and a Baby.
Yeah. Hey, Steve Gutenberg had a real moment there in the 90s.
He was the Goots, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it was real popular.
More like Steve Glutenberg. You see that butt?
Is it especially?
I don't remember. I don't know. Also, 90s pants are pretty baggy, so it's probably not a great...
No, he had great legs because they always put him in short shorts, especially in those Police Academy movies.
Oh, yeah. Is he in The Big Green? Is that
Yeah,
Gutenberg?
that's Goots, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Classic movie.
I mean, it's fine.
Anyways, back at Lisa's, Dean asks to go over using a gun with her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
she's
again,
like, I get it. And he's like, humor me. And then she goes,
look, I'm very like
and I had to pause the episode.
Yeah, I'm very like anti-gun, but like
totally. I'm anti-gun, but like she could shoot me.
Yeah, not those guns.
No, or these.
Yeah.
Held up my arms and they drooped Bugs Bunny style.
Weep, weep. And they basically gets he then looks over and gets a reluctant look to leave, and Sam
we
to
also
help Sam.
So we also didn't mention this, but when Sam called Dean and was like, "I'll come to your house," Dean's on the phone and also assaulting the windows. Like Dean is in full like panic mode.
100%. Yeah. Lisa jokingly threatens that if he doesn't leave, she's gonna shoot him, and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna stay." Dean kisses Lisa and leaves. Lisa looks upon and reaches, and he reaches the meeting point with Sam.
Yeah,
and tells him that he's not sure what they're dealing with yet. Only he freaked out and ran off after he cut him with silver.
Yeah. So then they're like, that narrows it down to like ghouls, shifters. They might say Striga or something. There's a few things they mention. Yeah.
Dean suggests getting supplies after glancing at the baby.
Yeah, and Sam's like, we have all the guns.
We've got an arsenal. And
I do like these shots of the baby in the back, like smiling. Like,
yeah.
God, what a great day of filming that would be. Be like, we fucking got it, guys. We got a baby smiling.
That's true.
That would feel so triumphant.
Do you think?
As the crew, be like, it's always a risk to have a baby because they're tough to work with. They're all little fucking divas.
But Dean replies, not those kind of supplies.
Yeah, it's like, now we're in a diaper aisle. This is embarrassing. There's a little bit of that.
They could have gone down a worse route, and they don't.
It's not like, no, sorry, I didn't mean, they don't in any way treat it like demeaning, but there is kind of like a sort of faux embarrassment. Like they're getting like bottles and the cream and stuff like that. But then when they go to check out and the baby is crying, everyone is like looking at them, and Sam's like, make it stop. People think we're child abusers. It's just like, babies cry in public all the time.
Here's the thing. I'm just glad that they didn't make it like a two guys with a baby. Like,
yes. No, they totally avoid all of that, which is great. Sarah Gamble's the showrunner.
Yes.
All of that is fine. I just meant more that it's still like the juvenile thing of like, I don't know how to work this thing. Like Dean's holding it up like at arm's length, like it's a prom dance.
Yes.
Like,
but because of that, an old woman comes up to help them.
Yeah.
Dean realizes that woman is a shifter. Though.
Yeah, he like sees her image in the checkout like security thing, but we don't see that initially. Dean's just like, let go of the baby or I'll stab you in the neck. And Sam's like, Dean, and Dean's like, look at the. I do like that moment.
It is very funny.
She tries to take the baby. Dean grabs her arm and like rips a bunch of her flesh off.
It's fucked.
Which nobody clocks.
No.
And then
security shows
Sam
up.
gets the baby. Dean tackles her and tries to like. I couldn't believe how public this was. And then I was like, it's season 6, and this is like one of the first times we see them like daylight dealing with an issue in public.
Yeah.
One of very, very few. It's very rare. On the other times we see it, it's almost like everyone is implicated in the thing, like in the Wishing Well episode or
Totally.
something like that. But for this, there's just a bunch of people that like went to the store to get like cantaloupe, but there's like some guy tried to stab an old lady and her fucking arm came off. And
It's America.
Yeah, I'd be like, man,
Those Black Friday deals are getting crazy.
gee, at least I didn't vote for Biden. Like,
You're really gonna make me vote for
I guess
Joe
Obama at the
Biden?
time.
Yeah. Is it?
Would be.
Yeah.
But at any rate, yeah, they have to like get away. Dean can't finish the job, but the old woman like clocks the license plate. And
That's
stuff.
right.
Yeah.
The shifter then contacts a police station disguised as a police officer to identify their car.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like I was thinking about this too watching this episode, is that in the first season, in general with the monsters, we spent a lot of time in the horror of things. That first shifter episode is like that, like the bones cracking, like
Yeah.
like all that kind of shit. In this one, we just see like the goops, but I still like the kind of reveal of like you pan around and they're like, oh, there's a goop. They've changed again. Like I do like it as a kind of visual cueing. I think it's still pretty good.
Totally. Back at a motel, Sam comments his surprise on how much of a parent Dean is.
Yeah, Dean changes a diaper and then he sings Smoke on the Water. And he lays the baby down and the baby is instantly asleep.
Yeah.
Which is the most unbelievable part of this episode. And then Sam, full voice, goes, "You're really good at that." They just put the baby, there's no barrier. They're all in the same room. But no one is pretending to be like, okay, what do we do next? Sam's just like, wow, that was great. I can't believe you're so good at that. Like,
Sam's
Jesus, just fucking pretend.
He's really trying to figure out this character.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
We'll get there. Back.
It's not like they don't do whisper scenes. They just scenes that, like, just go like, okay, so like, where are we gonna go from here? Like, just fucking act. I was gonna say pretend, but what I mean to say is act.
Back in the car, they discuss how the shifter knew where they were.
Yeah, which seems impossible.
Totally. Also, the baby's name is Bobby John. we haven't talked about this yet, but the baby's name is Bobby John.
Well, because at the grocery store, before the shifter is revealed, she asks,
What's his name?
"What's his name?" Dean says Bobby, Sam says John.
And so, Bobby John, which is obviously...
Which, like, Sam, come on, really? John?
Name it after your piece of shit father?
Sammy ain't all right.
No. But yeah, so we go back to the motel again and they put the baby to sleep. They discuss how Dean may be repeating his father's mistakes with Lisa and Ben, though.
This is, again, Sam being kind of a shitty brother and, like, seeing, like, how are you going to protect them and not become dad?
Yeah. The whole thing is like...
Which is the thing I vehemently refute.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, I think considering, like, people tried to kill them and were going after him, like, it's fair for him to be paranoid.
But also, even that aside, Dean handled, like, a 11-year-old holding a weapon so well.
Yep.
And responsibly. And he didn't, like, fly into a rage. He didn't, like, kick a box. He didn't, like...
No, 100%.
He was totally good. He did it well.
Definitely. Sam later leaves the motel room to get more information.
Yeah.
He finds out that the baby's mother had sex with who she thought was her husband, but was a shapeshifter.
Yeah, so they follow up on this lead, which is that in one of the murder abduction scenarios, the dad had moved out and so wasn't there.
Yeah.
And so when he says, like, no, I left, like, she was cheating on me. I caught her. And Sam goes, oh, sorry. He goes, well, I didn't, like, catch her, but, like, I was away. We hadn't had sex for months.
Suddenly
she was pregnant. And she was like, she said it was mine. She was like, you came back early or whatever. He's like, I didn't. I was at a fucking softball tournament the whole time. And Sam was like, oh.
Also, that is the worst. Like, if you were cheating, that's the worst possible way to tie that up. No, you fucked me. And it was like, I know where I am. Like,
Right. Like, just fully gaslight.
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean you did this? You remember when you came home early? I don't, but I mean, guess.
Yeah. I mean, kudos to the guy for not getting gaslit. But also, it's so much sadder than too that like their marriage broke up and that she's dead and all of these kind of things. At any rate, so Sam starts to put that together, and
That's
then
when
in the
Dean calls.
meantime, there's Dean wakes up and sees
The baby's crying.
the baby's crying, and then there's like a
Yeah.
goop explosion, and then Dean holds up the baby, and it now matches the black baby on the diaper box.
Love this.
Which is very funny. And Sam's like, the baby's a shifter. And Dean's like, yep. And then there's like a knock on the door, and it's like, we're having complaints. And he's like, it's not a good time. Dean says it's not a good time to come to the door right now. I just got out of the shower. But the baby is crying. You just be like, the baby's crying.
Yeah.
He's like, so I like the idea. I don't even think it's a mistake. I just like the idea that he's so used to lying that
Yes.
when he does have a legitimate
He's still
thing,
making
he's
something
still
else
lying. There's a part of me that actually kind of likes that detail.
up. It's a good one. But the cop forces his way in.
Yeah, and it's of course the shifter, and they fight, and the shifter says something about like the baby belongs with like our father.
Yeah, first says,
And you're like, wait, what?
It's father, and then she says it's our father.
Yeah.
Telling him that someone else wants the baby. Sam appears though and kills the shifter.
Yeah, shoots it right in the back.
Yeah. And then they say, oh, I guess I'm not gonna get the damage deposit.
Wah, wah.
And blood's everywhere.
Squeep beep 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 beep.
Which I think is very funny. And they drive off.
Yeah.
Back in the Charger, wondering what to do when Sam suggests bringing the baby to their grandfather, Samuel.
Okay. By the end of the episode, I had kind of caught up. But I was like, why wouldn't you go to Bobby?
Right? I mean,
because Dean's immediate thing is like, they're a bunch of fucking hunters and this thing is a monster. And even Sam is like, it's a monster. And Dean is like, it's a baby. And Dean is distrustful of the Campbells and stuff like that. And he's like, they're fucking hunters. And Sam's like, not all hunters are like whack jobs. Like,
look at you, you're a hunter.
Some of them are like, I actually think Samuel's a lot like you. And he's like, I'm a whack job.
Yeah.
And it's funny that nobody in that moment goes like, compromise Bobby. We know he's not a whack job, but I kind of get it. But as I was rewatching, I was like,
I don't disagree.
There is like a reason. Like, I think it's justified.
Long term, I think we get there.
Well, even within the episode, but I was in that moment, I was like,
yeah. They appear though, and Samuel and the Campbells suggest raising the baby.
Well, yeah, and there's a lot of this kind of like tense, like, hand me the baby, and Dean's like, no, and he's like, what do you think of me? And Dean's like, I don't fucking know. I don't know you.
Yeah.
Like, you got, dragged out of heaven. I'd like to know why, And then the other ones are so antagonistic, too. They're like, no, Dean, little fucking baby boy. And
God, I fucking hate
Dean's
the
like,
Campbells
hey, go fuck yourself.
I hate the Campbells. They have such like B apocalypse movie vibe. Like, I hate the way that they...
And this fucking compound.
Yeah.
It's like where Gene Hackman lives in Enemy of the State.
Yeah.
With all the
oh my God, yeah.
It's like what I think about.
That's incredible.
Like cages in cages in cages kind of thing.
That's really true.
Such a weird reference to call up.
Yeah, I don't know how you pulled that out, but I like it.
Yeah. But at any rate, I was going to say Mitch Pileggi, Samuel says, yeah, we should raise it. He turns to the douchiest of the cousins and goes like, you've been trying, ain't you? And the guy's like, yep. And he goes like, huh? And they'll go like, man, what a great hunter this kid will make. And Dean's like, you fucking animals, give me the baby.
Yeah. But that's when suddenly a shifter shows up as Samuel.
Yeah, they hear stuff like outside and they try to lock down, and Samuel gives the baby back to Dean.
I'm assuming some like third-rate cousin got killed outside.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, we're already, the ones in the building are third cousins. Who knows who the fuck's outside?
That's true.
But
they tell Sam and Dean and the baby to travel to the panic room.
Yeah, which is just in the basement. A way shittier panic room than Bobby's. They should have gone to Bobby's.
It's true.
There's nothing in that room.
No.
Nothing stocked. No
No.
weapons. Like, just go into this room and wait to get killed.
Yeah. Make it easy.
Go into this room that is lockable from and unlockable from the outside.
Unlike Bobby's.
Yeah.
So the shifter kills Mark Campbell by snapping his neck.
I did kind of love that.
It was good.
Because he had a kind of weird, like, Jesse Plemons vibe
Sure,
that I wasn't vibing with.
No, I don't like any of the.
I mean, I don't like any of them, but he seemed the most unhinged.
Sure.
The other ones just seemed, like, aggressive and bad.
Sure.
He seemed, like, unwell.
And an angry Samuel, Christian, and Gwen attempt to kill it with silver and other weapons.
Well, I don't think they do.
They don't, but they try.
I don't think they try.
Oh, you don't
Because
think so?
they're tranks. They're trying to capture it. You know,
Oh,
we
I
already
see.
saw them capture the gin last
Yeah,
episode.
yeah,
They're trying
yeah,
to take this thing alive.
Yeah.
And they pump it with all these tranks, and it. First of all, it looks like Samuel. It comes in as Samuel, and as much as I don't like the character Samuel, props to Mitch Pileggi, great actor.
Oh, yeah.
Who's doing a really good job of both kind of versions
Especially
of
when he's
him.
making out with his daughter.
Easy. We do love showing that in the then.
Yep.
We keep coming back to that.
Yep.
Or the flashback last episode. We're just gonna keep showing that.
Yep.
Remember when the show did this?
It's so
Fuck you,
fun.
Game of Thrones. We started it.
That's right.
Um,
A show that hasn't come out yet.
yeah. Well, preemptively, you know.
Okay.
But, yeah. But he's really good. He kind of like stumbles a bit, and then you see him kind of like get his bearings, and he like flexes.
Oh, yeah. It was fucking awesome.
He's been shot, and he's like he turns around like the fucking Terminator, and then he like flexes, and all the fucking darts come out, and he I think then he what happens then?
Well, so Sam and Dean now make it to the panic room.
Yeah,
Suddenly-
Sam leaves the panic room to go help fight or whatever.
Yeah, but suddenly the shifter appears as Sam at the door.
Yeah. And then we see it morph into Dean without goop,
Yeah.
without peeling anything off, with no bones breaking. Just kind of like Odo, like kind of shimmer just changes.
Like an illusion. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And
Dean fights Dean.
oh yeah, I mean, listen, spoiler alert, it's not the last time Dean fights Dean.
It's true. This is also the first
I love a classic Dean on Dean fight.
This is also the first time in the show that we see the characters actually facing their doppelgangers in a single shot.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, usually when the actors
Right.
have to play against themselves, the shots are overs or close up coverage on one or the other.
Oh,
This,
that's
of course,
true.
is the money saving technique. But in this episode, for the first time, Sam and Dean face their shapeshifters, and that has taken their form, and we see both of them in the screen simultaneously.
Yeah, so the shifter Dean holds Dean up by the neck on the wall,
yeah.
takes the baby, and starts walking out. Doesn't kill Dean. I mean, it could have.
Knocks him out.
But knocks him out.
The shapeshifter's behavior is absolutely like the T-1000.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Like it's like turning and like it's clearly intentionally, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
After the attack, Dean wakes up to find the baby gone.
Yeah, he goes upstairs where everyone but Mark is fine.
Yes.
And they're already over it because we're already quipping.
Yes, they're discussing.
No one is mourning Mark. Samuel is like, I forget what, someone asked the question and Samuel's like, I don't know, I ain't got a calendar. He like has some sort of fucking line. And you're like, your like nephew's dead.
Yeah, like instantly into jokes.
Yeah.
Sam and Samuel are discussing who the shifter was, and Samuel explains to Dean that they were dealing with the alpha shapeshifter. The very first.
yeah. And he's like, it's the first one, the king shapeshifter.
Yeah.
And they were like, he said, because the shifter says he could feel the presence of the baby and stuff like that. And it's like that, and like silver doesn't work, and blah, blah, blah. And Dean's like, how do we kill him? And they're like, I don't know if we can.
It's crazy.
But you're like, okay, so hang on. So is this related to the gin thing? Sam and Samuel have clearly been after the idea of alpha monsters or whatever.
the first time we've heard it though in the series.
Yeah. You have real alpha energy.
Yeah.
The way he choked our female cousin. Uh-oh.
Yeah, who's that piece of shit on TikTok?
Oh, Andrew Tate?
Yeah,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
got
yeah.
real Andrew Tate energy.
Yeah, the shifter tried to sell us on his multi-level marketing.
But yeah, apparently the myths about it have been proven to be true.
This scene is a little sweaty.
Which one?
In that, Samuel's like, the alpha, the first one. There's lots of lore about it. And then someone says something, and then he goes like, I don't know if we can kill it. That's in the lore too. it's like we get it. You read, like, there's lore. It's like
the first time he's read something. Yeah.
But they're saying like there's lore for it. We didn't just make up a thing for season 6.
No, this is the thing.
But then also it's like, but we actually haven't made up the thing for season 6 yet. So stall for time. We'll do it in a later episode.
Don't worry about it.
We won't go into it.
Yeah.
There
will be lore.
It's just something about, for some reason, it's something about the way and the frequency of saying lore that I was like, well, now I'm suspicious.
Yeah. Doth protest?
Yeah, there's
much.
Yeah, doth protest much. Yeah.
So as Sam and Dean walk out of the house, Dean explains to Sam that the shifter mentioned our father and that he meant the alpha shifter.
Yeah. So Dean is saying at the motel he said our father, meaning that there was an alpha.
Lord in heaven.
You clearly know about the alphas. Samuel shared a look there. Does that mean that you were using the baby as bait, Sam? And Sam's like, no. What do you think of me? No. Why would it? No, of course not. And he's like, did you hear him talk about our father? And Sam's like, it was pretty crazy in there. I don't really remember. Which is like, if you didn't say no.
Yeah.
Crazy. Something's not right with Sammy.
Something is off. After the ride home, Dean finds Lisa in the kitchen. Dean explains that he would like to keep her and Ben safe, but he feels like he's becoming a father who is similar to a prison guard.
And he doesn't know the best thing to do. Give up hunting and stay with them all the time to protect them. Or get the fuck away from them so they can live lives without them. Or whatever. And Lisa essentially says, like, it's not a zero-sum
The craziest shit I've ever heard in my entire life.
There is nothing hotter than how understanding she is in this scene.
She's just like... Look,
what's the sexuality where someone cares about you and you get a boner?
But I don't want to, like, fuck her emotions. Is that called excitement?
Yeah. Yeah, that meme I sent you. It's like, what does it mean if you're horny for something, but you don't like, but not sexually? Like, I'm horny for Halloween, but I don't want to fuck a pumpkin. Like, do you mean excited? Yeah. I fucking love that. That made me laugh.
She basically is just like, come and go as you please.
Yeah, she's like, we'll be here.
Fucking insane.
When you go out on the road, you're a hunter. You're not a construction worker, but you're a hunter. Be a hunter. When you've got time, when you can, come back. She said, but come back in one piece. And kind of the idea of like, and leave that shit.
Yeah.
You can come back whenever you want.
Insane. How good.
And Dean is like, is this going to work? And she's like, we could try.
It's the craziest thing I've ever seen on this show.
Her level of compassion and understanding and willingness and flexibility is the most supernatural thing on the show.
1,000%.
That's not like me being like, women are flexible.
No.
That's me being like, who would put up with Dean?
Yeah. No. Anyone.
He should right away be like, monster.
Yeah. Yes. 1,000%.
Yeah. Or I'm in a gin dream. Or I'm like, he's like, this isn't right. Yeah. No one would do this.
No. Look. My feelings don't matter. Just come and go as you please.
Yeah. We'll put our lives on hold for you.
Yeah, take what you want and leave.
Easy.
Worth other things.
Yeah. I mean, it's truly crazy.
It's a thing I could not.
I mean, I like the idea of seeing people attempt constructive relationships.
But this is
not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Like, I think it's a bad idea.
Yes.
But there is something like rewarding about seeing something on TV that is not just people immediately giving up.
Sure.
But
this is not the answer.
It's totally not. It's such a bad idea. But like, there's a part of me that's like, it's kind of novel in a way.
Like, it'd be one thing if she was just
from a certain point of view.
Like, if she was like, maybe you can hunt on the weekends. Like, but like, to be like, come and go as you please. I'll always be here waiting for you.
I mean, she already was.
I mean, we know that.
It's
but-
not really different for her,
No,
but
she's
it's still
like-
bad.
Yeah, the fact that she's just like, no, I'm cool with it. That's crazy.
Just remember, I need that D at least once every 8 years,
Yeah.
or the curse comes back.
Yeah. If I could just get it once a quarter, it'd be dope.
Sorry,
Insane.
Sammy, can't go on a hunt. I have to lay down that Q3 pipe.
Return on injection.
Jesus. Good Lord. Return on injection? That is fucking vile. I was going to say something about gross revenue, but
Yeah. No, it's sure. Yeah. Gonna spread those sheets.
oh, Jesus. Good Lord. If you do yoga in bed, it's called the balance sheet.
Hey.
Heyo.
So, but this basically.
When they're done fucking, he gives an income statement. I got a few more of these probably.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Just keep
yeah,
going.
yeah.
Oh, don't worry, I'll interrupt.
But basically, she's like, now get the fuck out of here. And
It's crazy.
the mute fucking smoke on the water comes back on. He pulls the sheet off.
Yeah, and he's got a smirk, and it's like, it's time, baby. It's such an extended montage of shots of the car.
I fucking love it. I love it. So
I like
much.
that you can see the little dings and dents and shit.
Yeah. And the Impala drives away. Holy shit.
Good God.
Till his dick gets a tingling and he needs to come back.
Yeah, to Impala, Lisa.
Yeah. Wow. Found an alpha and it's right here. Good God. That's the end of this episode.
What did you think?
It's a fine episode. It's not like a favorite of mine at all. I think
Oh, sorry. Hang on.
oh my God, okay.
We forgot.
I know.
I'm just not in the habit yet.
No, it's okay.
I'm used to interrupting things mid-flow.
Yeah.
It's time
Yeah.
for the fuck you Samuel Campbell Memorial Who Was the Biggest Asshole This Episode segment.
Yeah. I'm going to say that it was the cousin that gets the baby.
Yeah, with his fucking like neo-Nazi haircut.
Yeah.
And his like he looks like if your barista voted for Trump. Whatever his vibe is. I would agree with that, although I think a solid second place is Mark, who gets what he deserves.
Get what it deserves.
Yeah, you get what you fucking deserve. Yeah, I would agree. But yeah, in general, the cousins Campbell, man, fuck you.
I hate all of them.
Yeah. Sorry, episode thoughts?
Yeah. I think that it is the premise is fine, but there's not a lot of baby funniness that you would come from. Like, they set it up like it's going to be like a Zoinks episode with the guys, and it's not.
Yeah.
Because I think this, like, shifter thing really takes over it.
Here's the thing. I'm interested, when I like forget that I know what all is happening.
Sure.
I'm interested in the idea of like an alpha monster. Like, that's fucking new.
Yeah, the idea, though, of that, like, they all birth from one. I hate that.
Some of that I don't like because it comes back to things I don't like in other media.
Yes.
But the idea that there's like a new class of thing, I'm like,
Sure.
Cool, interesting. I want to learn more about that. Clearly, Samuel and Sam have been pursuing this. Like, I'm interested in like peeling back the layers of the onion of what is this working relationship kind of thing. Why are they immediately antagonistic to Dean? And
Yeah.
Sam is like, he's my brother, and they go like, all right, we'll put up with it for now.
Yeah.
But they're fine with Sam. So it's like there's a few things there you're like, well, what's happening there? And you want to kind of peel that back. The fights stuff pretty good in this episode. I like that, but
Yeah.
I agree. The hook, the thing that is the weakest, why does Sam call Dean?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Is great if it's a comedy episode.
Yeah.
As soon as it becomes this drama thing, you go like, Well, you just made it worse because Dean is going to question Samuel.
Yeah.
Like, every piece of this gets worse if you're Sam.
Because the whole thing is just, why
If
are
you're
the
Sam, Dean makes this infinitely more complicated.
all of this always just points back to, why are the Campbells around?
Because
Like,
Sam initially is like, baby's not my problem. So
Yeah.
he could theoretically just like drop it at an orphanage or something.
Yeah.
Because at that point, he doesn't know it's a shifter. When he does learn it's a shifter, he's like, it's a monster. And he's like this close to being like, dump it in a river.
it's
Like,
true.
Cue the opening sequence of Batman Returns kind
They're
of like
also
thing.
really not pointing out, like, I get subtlety at a certain point, but they're really not pointing out how fucking weird Sam is being.
There's a little bit like on the phone with Samuel earlier in the episode. Samuel is like, what's wrong with you? And Sam's like, I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's too cavalier. I think it's a little too.
there's enough in there, but I know what you mean. Like, this show is not exactly subtle.
No.
And they're playing this weirdly subtly.
Yes.
Which is kind of nice in a way, but it also is like not the thing you're used to.
No. But
Um,
I think that the shifter stuff is fine, but there's not enough of it. There's like one transition with the baby. Like, it all feels a bit too like shoved together
right.
and like not fully formed enough for me. The writing's not like exceptionally great at all.
Right.
I think the Lisa stuff is fine but crazy. She's way too understanding, even for like a chill girl.
I mean,
Like,
I love her so much, but she's so wrong.
yeah, no,
She's so wrong about this.
yeah, so wrong. So I'm gonna give this 2.5 chunks of shifter lady
Out of?
out of a possible 5.
Oh, wow. Okay. Interesting.
That's always what we rank these by, so that can't change.
I mean,
That can't change because that has always been the case.
well, thus far.
You can't start changing the rules.
Hmm.
That this thing has already been set.
Hmm.
Anything else that you create numbers for, it's fine.
Okay, but I'm going to have to like translate the ranking I was going to give it in my head. I'm going to get a weird number out of this.
All right. That's fine.
I think overall, this is like a fine episode. I don't think it's like bad.
Sure.
And I know technically the rank you gave it is like half, kind
Yeah.
of. But it feels maybe a little too low for me. There are things that don't work for me in this episode, but there's a lot that does. The action's good. I do like seeing like the fucking compound, and
Yeah.
as much as I hate them, the Campbell stuff is like, I need to know more. I need to know what's happening here.
Sure.
And I like all of that stuff. And I think Dean is great in this, you know. So I think oh God, sorry, I'm trying to do the math in my head. I gotta I'd give this like 3.18
Come on.
out of 5.
Come on. You can't give it that.
I just did. You asked me to do that.
We'll round it up to 3.25.
No.
That's the canonical answer.
I'm gonna leave this as 3.18. If you're updating the wiki.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Godspeed.
Godspeed. This is going to be the thing I latch onto all season. This is my sandwich segment.
Jesus Christ. I guess it's better than the Samuel Memorial.
The fuck you, Samuel Campbell Memorial, who was the biggest asshole segment.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty good for season 6.
Can't wait for that shirt.
I mean, just Mitch Pileggi holding like an Oscar. Fucking...
I just meant even just all of those words.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot.
I like it.
Of course you do. Well, those were our reviews. If you want to continue the discussion on our Discord, you can join our incredible online forum on patreon.com/
Ghostfacers, and it's only $1 a month, and you can get on Angel Radio, our awesome Discord server. Our community is amazing, full of so many awesome people, really like lovely souls there, and yeah, it helps to support us.
You guys do a good job policing yourselves.
Yeah. Yeah, and we'll just fucking sick you on anyone who dares speak against the... As soon as I see some fucking chud in the YouTube comments giving any sort of criticism of us at all.
You fucking go for them.
Yeah. Yeah. Yas queen.
Yes.
Slay.
Yes. Fucking murder.
Yeah.
Like, whatever the opposite of Lisa's mentality at the end of this episode.
Yeah, it is all or nothing.
Yeah. Also, if you have a note about a future episode, something you wanted to point out that maybe you have a perspective on, some unique expertise in.
Yeah. I guess with the caveat that, like, if it's traumatic, you don't have to. For some reason, I immediately, as you were saying that, I was like, I don't need someone to tell me, like, why they bent over backwards to make a bad relationship work.
Oh, God.
Because that's all I can think of in this episode.
Oh, sure.
Fucking Lisa's just doing, like, fucking cartwheels through all of the horrible shit Dean's hurling at her.
Yeah, this week we got a letter from somebody who says you don't know him like I do.
Yeah. I was his therapist at Arkham Asylum. I could change him.
He's got a really hard day at work.
Yeah. You just don't know Mr. J.
So you can send those to our email at ghostfacerspodcast@gmail.com or reach out to us through our various social media platforms.
Yeah, we're at GhostfacersPod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast on whatever the platform that you get the podcast on. And while you're there, why don't you give us a 5-star review? If it's not on Apple Podcast or Facebook, why don't you just take a screenshot and send it to us? That's what this week's was. Well, actually, they just did it on Spotify and then wrote the review.
Which I also, that's fine too.
That's 2 5 stars. I'm here for that.
Yeah, baby.
And we will read that on a future episode of the show. Also, if you want to show the your Mitch Pileggi, Samuel Campbell memorial,
it's not that hard to remember. It's the "fuck you, Samuel Campbell" memorial. Who was the biggest asshole in this episode segment?
When you want that shirt, you can get that at
harass
Podcast
Richard on
Store.
Angel Radio. Yeah,
GhostfacersPodcastStore.com. Also, we've got another podcast.
Yeah, the Dr. DC podcast. We talk about the lore of superheroes. We answer listener questions. We talk about the Justice League and Superman and Batman and all that kind of fun stuff. If you like the way we talk about lore and fractions over here, you might enjoy how we talk about other shit there.
Wow, that started strong and then really
I don't know,
dissipated.
man. I got weird energy.
You really do.
I'd give my energy like a 13 out of 19.
Does it start there?
Well, it was 13 out of 18, but I'm feeling like
Worse.
wonky.
I don't want to go backwards because you were given 13.
I think like now I'm at a 13 out of 19, but hopefully by the end of the day, 15 out of 17.
Say goodbye, bitch.
Jerk.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.